I ask you not to repeat this experiment at home. Better let me let other YouTubers who want to do it there and show you what will happen, yes. But not, you don't need to risk your health, your time, your condition, so let's not do this. I'll tell you why this is not necessary. This will be done at the end of this video, so watch the video. Be sure to watch the video to the end, because I suffered so much. Salute to everyone, and again, the genius of YouTube, Scarlett Smes, is with you, and finally I have this long-awaited experiment. At least I don't know about you, but I've been waiting for it for a very long time. I'm filming the experiment after that. As you can see, I'm alive. Everything is fine with me. So don't worry, there are people who are worried about me. They write comments like these. Now you see on the screen. There's no need to take it in any way. Experiments are dangerous, but I have a head on my shoulders. I am an extreme person. I still have an audience that is just as extreme as me. That is, there is nothing wrong with that. I don't want to do anything with myself, I'm just doing experiments. My goal was to create a channel with such people. There will be crazy experiments, of course, and ordinary experiments. There will even be some kind of pranks. That is, I won't just mock myself, so to speak. Yes, in general, everything is fine with me, and you will now see what happened in these 3 days that were. Of course I wanted to hold out longer, but my body decided to shut down as soon as I reached 1%. So I passed out. Be sure to watch to the end. Please support me by liking and subscribing, because I'm looking for my audience who is just as cool. Because I tried, this experiment was for your sake. Please try to support me. And don't judge me. I'm just crazy scientists going crazy. Almost a day has passed. I didn't start shooting the video right away. I thought if you didn't get some sleep, it's clear that I can do this experiment. In principle, this was in my thoughts, and it was planned. I haven't slept for 12 hours yesterday. Now I'll take it. June 9:53, I turn on completed. If I feel very, very, very bad, then of course I will stop this experiment. I'm holding on. I have the strength. If I drank coffee as a last resort, with energy drinks, at least for now, I won't do it. Bon appetit for now. Before I'll hold out with these. I think on motivation for the sake of you subscribers, dear pizzas, because I motivated you. Now I'll eat pizza if I want pizza, whatever I want, like some kind of tasty treat, if I want. I was just going through it in my head. What if you don't sleep? You'll achieve your goals. Yummy. What all happened during these 3 days? The first one was nothing special. I just usually passed the time. The only thing was yawning, of course. When it was 20 o'clock, it wasn't like I didn't fall asleep, but I just lay there lying. Then I realized that damn, why not start an experiment? Like the day had almost passed, plus even before that I didn't sleep. These are the experiments in the end. I started this experiment, but from the second day it all started interesting. Of course, if I had held out a little longer, I would have seen even more interesting things, but it even seems to me that this is for the better. At the end of the video, because I will summarize what happened and what it led to. It's been a day already. Already more. I really want to address those now. I sat and received a comment. Please don't forget to plug in, and now they will be small. I want to appeal to those people who are watching this video now, and I think that there will be competitions on this channel. For 10 years I was embarrassed, and now 10 loops somewhere here. Something interested me. YouTube. I started to get a little carried away by this. I started to understand for everyone that it then turns out all the negative comments. That is, don't everything is fine. That is, I know that I do. I'm already an adult. I understand if I have the face of a child. It doesn't mean that I don't understand. But I have the soul of a 40-year-old, and I don't want to live a boring life even for 10 years. Go out and film this, for example, vlogs and simple lives. No, but they are more original, to make it interesting to watch, so we play on advance, it seems. For example, some child who does something like that. It's extreme, awesome, thank you very much. No, I'm already an adult, disturbed, I know what I'm doing, I made subscribers for you, let's continue, and my audience is just as extreme as me. Oh, somehow, who love this kind of content. It's okay. These are the guys I'm looking for, who will support me there. Comments, there is support to write some kind of motivation for this, likes. Yes, this experiment has already been performed on YouTube, for a day without sleep, so. Well, everyone basically remembered me as a zombie. I'll look like my mascara was running, but that's how you see my crazy eyes. On the second day, the most interesting thing began. Firstly, I plunged into some kind of trance, I don't know. It's just that when I was doing Photoshop, I made a preview for video at this moment. Right now I'm looking at the camera, I see, for example, what surrounds me in my peripheral vision. I see a window, I see another window, I see, here I have a mess in general, I see it in my peripheral vision. But at the moment when I was doing Photoshop, I found out where I am, I thought about where I wasn't scared, I felt as if I had teleported somewhere and didn't understand where I was at all. Imagine you sitting at home, concentrating on something, and then you understand, and where you are little by little. Well, somehow out of the corner of my eye it seemed to me that this was some other place altogether. This is very special. I used to notice that the neighbors are right, they are different. This is, of course, not my first time when I forgot where I am, it's when I'm too tired. For example, I'm lying on the bed like this, and I understand when I don't understand with my eyes closed. Where am I going to wake up now? I'll wake up in Siberia, where I was born, or where I used to live, or with my parents. Now either I'm alone, in general somehow my brain was a little in shock. I'm sitting in the kitchen, and I heard all sorts of sounds. Well, maybe this is the front door to hear good. The only thing I can notice is that my hands. Cold, just not very cold hands. The weather was 24. And I think it was just cold in the morning. My window was open and it was frozen. When I was editing the video, from time to time I somehow felt sleepy. Half an hour passed and I immediately felt sleepy at that moment. You know, I lay down on this bed. In general, I lay down uncomfortably in order not to fall asleep later. That is, I lay down. My body relaxed a little, I almost got up again and sat down on a chair so that in the end I wouldn't fall asleep. Because I would relax too much. And why is this necessary? That's why I somehow held on. Beds in general, in the end it helped. I used a life hack to avoid falling asleep. Well, even that didn't help me later. Yes. Some stream was leading sometimes. I was stupid about basic things, I mean. My attentiveness, that is. She writes to me there in the chat and I only poke in one place, then I understand after a while what the hell I need to watch now. Yes, the guys also wrote. There was a case when I was sitting on the streaming GTA 5 for a certain period of time when there weren't really any views. Of course there were viewers, only no one wrote anything, so inactive. I just go and fall into microsleep. Micro, I fall asleep. Micro, that means. So you were sitting. Then I suddenly stand there because I understand that I can't sleep and I'm conducting an experiment. It's not about myself. It made me think, and that's why I'm like, no. Don't sleep, that's good. You saved me. Then you started writing me a message there on the stream. It was really cool. In fact, people saved me. I didn't fall asleep. Then some asset went and started writing, we started talking. So I cheered up even after that. Maybe because I laid down the microphone. Then I woke up and suddenly, and somehow it cheered me up. I slept a little well. Microsleep is not considered a dream. Because it is only for 1 second, maybe 2 to 3, I didn't count. But if I find this excerpt, I will definitely leave this video. Pay attention. The cold seems to have disappeared. I yawn, of course. I'm still conducting an experiment. I don't want to sleep. Of course, I wouldn't mind sleeping here. Why don't I think I've changed a little with this experiment? They even said on the stream that when you spent 2 hours ago, the TV said something like that you didn't sleep all night. I say, yes, how do I know? He said you can see it. We'll go slightly. Leg a little bit. Gina is shaking or something shaking. Oh no, and by the way, for some reason my ears are here. It feels like there's some kind of headband here between my ears. Music. You know, when the headband in this one is put on my head, it's been on my head for a long time. Between it happens with the ears that it hurts a little. It's such an unpleasant sensation. It's like this now. But I didn't wear dietary supplements. You'll start to have some problems. During this, we'll tell you a little secret. Some people know that I have problems with vision, that I had panic attacks, at least now not so often. But the main emphasis I placed on the fact that I have problems with my vision. It's not blurring, it's something internal. The doctors told me that I have a problem with my nerves. My nervous system has been shaken, and that's why I have this. For example, I can show you basically how I see the world, the same thing as you see the quality of this video. This picture, you see what's glittering, that's all. Yes, there. For example, glittering there, everywhere glittering, everything, yes, but I'm no less. So you see the same thing that I see. That is, I see this interference. The installation specialists say that this is noise. This is exactly what is called noise. Well, just a fuzzy image. Well, something sparkles. If I had an even better camera, the camera will get better, so you can donate and send it off. So I'm saying that when the camera gets better for me, then you won't see these noises. But I see these noises. And why am I saying this? In the middle of the second day, I started having problems with my vision, and my fat got worse. There were more of these sparkles, so to speak. Let's call these noises that way. And also plus the blur on this eye for some reason began to blur even when I was looking at the world. I was looking at the street. I was going out into the street. When I saw everything sparkling and that somewhere there was a blur of something from fuzzy, plus it still floats that just like that. Like FPS, sat down, help me please fix the FPS. But in the end I just washed my face and I felt better. That is, this blur disappeared, but still these sparkles remained. Yes, by the way, just in case, I'll tell you not to worry. Yes, I will. About this I can discuss the map with the doctor, where I can go. So it's okay, don't worry about me, everything's okay, everything is under control. And now, at the end of the second day, I began to want to sleep more and more. That is, before that it was much easier not to sleep, because I understood my life hack, but even this life hack didn't help me. That is, I lie down here, I start to fall asleep, I understand no. It's too much, then I sit down on my table, I start to fall asleep. Even when I go to the toilet, it's so easy to go out on the streets anyway. I fell asleep like that. Then so it was considered in the sense that I'm actually sitting on the toilet, and I understand that I'm fucking falling asleep even sitting on the toilet, damn it. 20 seconds later, and I ate it. Now I'm on a break from prison and went to bed. This could of course be a mistake, but at least you know now. It calms you down that the fact that this is only the second day. I won't pass out, the second day is coming. If of course it were the third day, then I would, of course. If I were forced to lie down now, then I would fall asleep. And on the second day I can still control myself. I didn't allow myself to lie down, so I'm playing around a little. I'm lying about energy. So I can rest, send it to the experiment and accordingly carry out this experiment immediately with vision problems. Since I was 10 years old, but at first it was a small thing like maybe someone had a problem, really 200 in the comments if anyone had such a problem in general. I see everything as if it's shining. I don't know, they're already here. Hold out as long as possible. Yes, they were useful experiments on YouTube. That how people lasted. Everyone was surprised that then a person lasted 120 hours without sleep. It's too powerful. I don't know, it surprises me how they lasted like that, because I even have energy drinks somewhere like that, 4 jars. Of course I cheered it up at the beginning and then when I fell asleep on the toilet. And now you think to believe that I wasn't sleeping, that the whole blur was a structure, not a passion to hold it hard. They just open up hardcore wanted. This is 54 times. And here I am when, at the end of the second day, I already began to see some silhouettes. Adrenaline rose in my blood. That is, I gave myself the idea that this is all an experiment. This is all consciousness playing. This is all psychology. Is nothing like that. That is, with nothing will happen to you, no one will come for you now there with a chainsaw. I don't know something, no it won't be, it's all the subconscious, it's even a pity that I calmed myself down then, because adrenaline didn't make it possible for me not to sleep. And when I believed in myself, the fact is that everything will be fine with me, and there is no need to worry, despite the fact that my veins began to jump. It's just pulsating on my leg. On my arms started to feel heavier. I wouldn't be able to hold out for so long with a microphone. Why do I have adrenaline rose in the blood? Because it was spring for almost 3 days. Well, yes, it's logical, but also because I started to see all sorts of silhouettes, but they weren't straight. They were so clear, you just know, for example. Besides, I'll go back to Photoshop. I've already made another photo. Then I'll use Photoshop in Photoshop and start looking in the other direction. For example, I look as if at a laptop screen, and then I turn my eye and what I saw in Photoshop was my image. I saw it as a silhouette in an empty place on an empty wall. I saw a person, but I understood perfectly well that I just saw myself. These little glitches began. Who doesn't know what such people look like in principle? I can tell you in general. I'm not in a place right now. Because if I lie down on the bed, I understand that I just fell asleep already. I can't sit. His body somehow declassified what I was doing, so I somehow sit on the couch. I just walk from time to time, just drink water when I do so that it's not cold. For the energy drink, it's already the 3rd can of mine. What you'll hear now, in a couple of seconds. I don't remember at all what she said. It's as if I'm not the one who's talking, and how come I'm saying this with my lips today? That's what I noticed. Not only during the editing, but now there was also some kind of fear that, music. What kind of? This will end very badly. So it's like. Carefully. Here she is. I just looked at her. She was moving like that. She was shaking. Shook slightly. Moves. I just turned it off and saw some new sensations. This vision is playing. I also saw that this chandelier seemed to be staggering, as if shaking was happening, such small silhouettes. I saw how black it was, as if it was flying past me. On the contrary, I needed to leave the adrenaline and think that someone would come for me, so that live up to 4 days until 5 at least. I took it and passed out at the computer. But when I was watching one interesting video, I already woke up to the keyboard. I have cosmetics all over the floor. That's why everything is shaggy, because I still fell asleep unfortunately. At 11 o'clock, this is approximately, I fell asleep. Before 3 days, I only had an hour left. And I fell asleep, and think about how I fell asleep sitting. I watched a video on YouTube. It's even a ton, because now not only will I tell you a ton of this experiment. Now I'll sum up the results after I've had some more sleep, because since I started sleeping then, it's been 3 days. It's still powerful, and the story is when people there supposedly worked for 3 days and didn't even fall asleep, even some kind of insomnia. I'm surprised. Of course everything is fine now. The quality of the video has deteriorated because the camera I had was discharged. Let's finally sum up the results. In fact, this experiment is difficult, very difficult. I'm surprised how people even lasted. There was even a record of 11 days. A person didn't sleep. Maybe it's some kind of fake, maybe not, because well, it's impossible to hold out for 11 days, for a week. What and how can you walk there? The risks that you'll fall asleep and you won't wake up again. Then the hospitals, of course, are very, very strong. And then, but the Guinness record has already closed applications for this record because it is too dangerous for health. If suddenly someone tries, then they will definitely kill themselves. So plus there are still people who really try to go 10 days without sleep. Do not repeat this experiment, because it is very dangerous. If you want to sleep like this, sleep everything super, you don't need to do this. You really don't need to do this if you, for example, have problems with your eyesight, you have some kind of disadvantage in glasses or glasses. But still this is a disadvantage that you want your eyesight from. Of course I'm talking about healthy people. Let's say if you don't have any disadvantages, most likely your eyesight will fall anyway. It's possible, and I haven't checked this because I still have some problems with my eyesight, because I still have some problems, well, maybe 2. Because now the light is shining into my eyes, so now I just can't see from some object. For example, I have a request for you. Please write in the comments how long you haven't slept and we'll see. Maybe someone out there even broke my record. And what kind of records did you have? At this time, the feeling that they were seen at all, maybe they weren't seen in general. I now see traces. For example, I see a closet, then I'll take my eyes off, I see a trace. Write to me on Telegram. There will be a link in the description there, open it, and there will be a link on Telegram. There are few subscribers, so be sure subscribe, please. There will be news when the video comes out. But my vision could have been much worse. Better. Second, vision will disappear from the closet, that is, vision will deteriorate, and it's not a fact that it will go away for me. It hasn't really gone away yet. Of course there is no such blur. Well, you're basically killing your health. You'll be stressed, and it's not a fact that I might have something else. Something else might make your heart skip a beat. For example, you have panic attacks like I have. Then you have panic attacks even in this state, and you see some kind of silhouette, you can hear some sounds. Maybe some kind of glitches will actually start to go away. Nations, that is, there is a high probability that you cannot start magical attacks, for example this, and it's not a fact that you see it after this because, as it were, it won't go away. It's some kind of glitch. Of course it's autumn, but it won't happen right away. And you'll just start to get nervous. Adrenaline rises in your blood, and of course, at best, you'll end up unconscious. Yes, I was just afraid that I'd have panic attacks. Because somehow I understand what I want. It's like this. Now I'm going crazy in the complex. Although there's even further there, I even think that it's for the best that I lasted no more than 3 days, because it seems to me that it would only get worse further. Such a feeling as if glitches still remained after this experiment, because sometimes I see as if something is flying by. Schizophrenia. Okay, I'm kidding. Thank you for watching. please subscribe to the channel. Please support me with this comment, please write to promote this video. To the top, I want to find a local audience like myself, please support me. I'm not just doing this experiment, I'm doing this for you for the sake of the container. Please support me. I took a risk, although I could sleep, I really wanted to sleep. But I knew that I had an experiment, I have a video, I need to hold on, because of all my strength. I held out for 3 days, an hour remained until 3 days. Don't beat me, please. 60 hours without sleep is strong. Whoever I would say now, please support me. What I have left of the energy drink I'll drink now is not champagne. Before this experiment, I didn't drink it, so there's no need to drink it. I'll finish it, and that's all you need. I'm already contraindicating myself here. Let's drink to a successful experiment. Then you want without a day without on my performance. I don't know, maybe someday I'll do an experiment. At least when I solve the problems with my vision so he sees the world under his eyes, the mixture will say now. Thank you for watching, subscribe and like the bell, please support me now. Wait, for some reason it's not a heart. Soon you will see how I lasted 6 days without food. So be sure to follow me and ring the bell. Bye everyone.